It's raining on the afternoon of September 22nd, 1981. A 16-year-old high school senior finishes her classes for the day and smiles for a senior class picture before boarding her bus to travel to her part-time job. She arrives promptly and begins her duties for the afternoon. However, she begins to feel ill and decides to take a short break, walking 1 block to a nearby pharmacy. There she purchases cold medicine and begins the short walk back to her place of employment, but she does not make it to her destination and vanishes, never to be heard from again. 39 years have passed without any sign of the blue-eyed, dark blonde-haired teenager. On this episode of Voices of the Missing, Michele, Shelly, Reidenbach. With a population of under 1,400 people, Harmony, Pennsylvania is considered a safe, quiet place to raise a family. Located 30 miles north of the bustling city of Pittsburgh, Harmony is ideal for those wanting a quiet, rural lifestyle while still having convenient access to the nearby city. It is in this quaint, sleepy, small town that Gloria Reidenbach makes her home in the 200 block of Mercer Street. Born on December 29, 1964, Michele, or Shelly, was the youngest of the Reidenbach's 7 children and was described as kind and responsible, streetwise, and fiercely loyal to her family. In 1981, Shelly was a high school senior. Her oldest sister had recently suffered a paralyzing stroke, and Shelly was extremely devoted to her care, often accompanying her mother to the hospital where her sister was receiving physical therapy. She had recently started a part-time job creating mailers for Melden's, a local appliance store located in the 200 block of Main Street in Zelienople, a town a few short miles south of Harmony. She had many close friends and was saving up to buy a senior class ring with $100 stashed away in a dresser drawer. She dreamed of going to the Bradford School in Pittsburgh to become a secretary. She was extremely thoughtful of others' feelings, never missing a chance to give her mother a hug if she was feeling down. Shelly was your typical small-town girl next door, with no reason to run away or leave behind her beloved family. September 22nd, 1981, 7:45 a.m. Shelly and her mother say goodbye to each other and depart their home on Mercer Street. They part company, with Gloria heading to her job at Accutran, a manufacturing facility in Fombelle, and Shelly heading off to Seneca Valley Senior High School. Shelly attends her classes that day, poses for a senior class picture, and boards the bus that will take her to her after-school job at Melden's. On the bus, Shelly's friend since 7th grade, Beth Staub, recounts that the two chatted as Shelly styled her hair for her. Generous in nature, Shelly allows Beth to borrow her hairbrush and some jewelry to wear for the senior class picture she had scheduled to be taken later that day. Grateful, Beth promises to return the items later that afternoon. At 3:30 p.m., the girls get off the bus and duck into the bathroom of the nearby Gulf gas station so Shelly can touch up Beth's makeup. Shelly then heads to work at Melden's to begin her shift. Shelly would usually be working alongside her friend Kim Charlier, but as Kim recounts, she had fallen ill that day and decided to call off of work, so Shelly would be working alone. Hired just days prior, her boss, Fred Landay, described Shelly as a very pleasant girl who was dependable and hardworking. She begins her shift as usual, creating flyers and stuffing mailers. Between 4 and 4:30 p.m., Shelly's friend Kim verifies the two speak on the phone, and Shelly tells her she is going to run up to the Rite Aid to grab some cold medicine when she goes on break. 4:30 p.m. Shelly is spotted walking to the Rite Aid pharmacy located at 134 South Main Street. A clerk at the pharmacy confirms that Shelly arrives and purchases the cold medicine and then departs, presumably to return to Meldens. At 4:55 p.m., Gloria is on her way home from work and stops at the store to see her daughter. The two had tentative plans to go to St. Francis Hospital so Shelly could visit her sister, who is recovering from the stroke. Gloria tries to call Shelly at work, but the line is busy. When she arrives at the store, she is puzzled not to find Shelly there. Figuring they had just missed connections, Gloria goes on to the hospital alone. Somewhere between 4:30 and 4:55 p.m. is the last known confirmed sighting of Shelly. Her boss, Fred Landay, tells police he sees Shelly in the parking lot of the Super Duper grocery store, which is directly adjacent to Meldens. Fred says he sees Shelly talking to someone seated in a red vehicle. It appears to be someone she knows or is familiar with. It is at approximately this time that Shelly vanishes. She never returns to Meldens. She leaves behind her purse, school books, and cigarettes. Files are left out at her workstation. All signs point to her intention to return to the store. Within minutes of the last known sighting of Shelly, Beth Staub arrives at Meldens to return the hairbrush and jewelry she borrowed. Beth is en route to her part-time job at the Gulf gas station. Not finding Shelly there, Beth speaks to Mr. Landay, who tells her that Shelly received a phone call and left the store and hasn't come back. Mr. Landay figures this is because Shelly is ill and has decided not to return. Concerned, but not overly worried, Beth returns to her job. By 11 o'clock p.m., Shelly's brother arrives home without her. Customarily, he would stop by her work to give her a ride home, and he is alarmed not to find her there. Knowing something is desperately wrong, Gloria Reidenbach starts to contact Shelly's friends at 2:30 a.m. Beth Staub recalls getting the frantic call from Gloria, hoping Shelly had maybe spent the night there, perhaps forgetting to call home. Beth confirms that Shelly is not there. She hasn't seen her since the two parted ways at the bus stop. Kim Charlier also receives a call from Gloria. She is dumbfounded when she hears that Shelly is missing and no one has seen her. September 23rd, 6 o'clock a.m. Gloria phones the Zelienople Police Department to report her beloved daughter missing. They inform her she must wait 48 hours to officially file the missing persons report. Gloria waits in anguish for the hours to pass. Sadly, Beth Staub is never able to return the hairbrush and jewelry to Shelly, and to this day has them in her possession, the last mementos of a dear friend whom she will never see again. 48 hours later, Zelienople police begin looking for Shelly. They realize quickly that she is not a runaway and take note that all of her personal items are left behind at Meldens. They conduct interviews with witnesses and family members. They locate the individual in the red vehicle and question him. He is officially ruled out as a suspect. A search party of over 100 volunteers, made up of adults and teenagers, organized by Shelly's family, covers Zelienople and the surrounding areas. Police meet with searchers before they begin and suggest areas to search, including desolate areas accessible by cars. The volunteers search the banks of the Connoquenessing Creek and the Harmony Junction, almost making it to Fombelle. They distribute posters and information, but unfortunately, the search reveals absolutely nothing. No trace of Shelly is found. Police continue to follow up on numerous rumors and tips. Again, it leads nowhere. No phone calls come in from Shelly. Within months, the trail goes cold. Gloria meets up with newspaper reporters and psychics. A $5,000 reward is offered. She holds vigils and even contacts the producers of the show Unsolved Mysteries, eventually obtaining thousands of signatures to petition the show to cover Shelly's case. The producers of the show do reach out to the police department to ask if there is significant interest in the case. However, this is as far as it goes. In the end, Shelly's case is not chosen as a segment on the popular show. Shelly's mysterious disappearance has lasting and devastating effects on her friends and family. Beth Staub and Kim Charlier are haunted by her vanishing, Kim forever regretting her decision to call out of work that day, convinced that had she come in, perhaps the outcome would have been different. She says, quote, "Shelly was the most responsible person she knew. She would never leave without telling anyone where she was going." For Shelly's family, they face day after day of anguish and uncertainty, waiting for the phone to ring, for a tip to come in, for Shelly to walk through the door. The pain is particularly sharp for Gloria. She leaves Shelly's room as she left it, her clothes still hanging in the closet. The change of fall into winter being particularly painful, fearing her daughter is out there somewhere in the brutal cold. Shelly's birthdays come and go, each time a constant, painful reminder that she is not there to blow out her candles and celebrate with her loved ones. Eventually, the pain becomes too great, and Gloria decides to sell her house in Harmony, pack up her daughter's belongings, and move to Evans City to try to move on and put some pieces of her life back together. She continues to search, maintaining a close relationship with the Zelienople police, continuing to check in, hoping for any lead in her daughter's disappearance. Unfortunately, there would be none. Sadly, Gloria passes away on November 11th, 1999, without ever knowing what became of her daughter. In an interview given to the News Record, she says, quote, that not knowing Shelly's fate was constant pain. As terrible as it would be if Shelly was deceased, the worst part is the not knowing, end quote. In the years since Michele Reidenbach vanished, there have been minimal suspects and even fewer leads. The individual in the red vehicle who Michele was last seen speaking with has been conclusively ruled out by law enforcement. His alibi was verified by multiple sources. Michele had a steady boyfriend the year leading up to her disappearance. He was also questioned by police. They administered a polygraph test, which he allegedly passed, and although perhaps a person of interest, he was never confirmed as a suspect. He has since passed away. In 1989, Zelienople police reportedly wanted to question an individual by the name of David Neal of Seven Fields, Pennsylvania. Neal was found guilty of murdering a transvestite in Pittsburgh, but there was no conclusive evidence found linking him to Michele. Michele Reidenbach was 16 years old when she vanished from Zelienople, Pennsylvania on September 22, 1981. She was last seen between 4:30 and 4:55 p.m. in the parking lot of the Super Duper grocery store. She is a white female, standing 5 foot 2 inches tall. At the time of her disappearance, she weighed 110 pounds and had blue eyes and dark blonde hair. She was last seen wearing a wine-colored V-neck sweater and blue jeans. She wore a gold necklace with a knot pendant. She was known to be a chain smoker, and she wore eyeglasses. If alive today, she would be 55 years of age. Please look closely at this picture of Michele. She is not just another face on a missing poster. She was an attractive 16-year-old, sensible, responsible, extremely dedicated to her family, a beloved daughter of Gloria, a girl who would say, "I didn't get my hug today," when she knew her mother was feeling down, a girl who wrote about her sister's struggles in her creative writing class, a girl who would not run away, who wouldn't dare worry her family and friends in such a way. I am reaching out to anyone who is in the area of Zelienople, Pennsylvania during the afternoon and evening hours on September 22nd, 1981. If you remember anything at all, any tip, even something that seems insignificant, please reach out to the Zelienople Police Department at 724-287-7769 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. Every missing person has a voice that needs to be heard. We must listen to the voices of the missing. I want to take a moment to thank Shelly's best friend, Judy. Her assistance in providing pictures and detailed information was absolutely crucial in the creation of this video. Her dedication and love for Michele is unwavering. Thank you for taking the time to view Michele's video. You are welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments below, but I do ask that you please remain respectful while doing so. We'll see you in the next video.